Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's tutorial is going to be something very simple, very easy. I've been wanting to do a simple look, and then every time I end up doing some crazy shit. I'm sorry, I get carried away, okay? I did not want to use any eyeshadow palettes today because every time I grab an eyeshadow palette, I go crazy, okay? I didn't want to do something too dramatic, something hard that you guys are not going to be able to duplicate at home. I wanted to do something more simple instead. The hardest part is probably doing the wing liner, but that's hard for everybody. It's hard for me. Trust me, when you see girls just winging it, they either have the perfect eye shape or they're lying to you, okay? Because wing liners are hard. They get easier with time, but they're still hard to do, especially when you have hooded eyes or when your eyes are not exactly symmetrical, which is really most of us. Our eyes don't look exactly the same, just like our eyebrows, okay? They're sisters, they're not twins. I wanted to also give you guys some tip on how to get your complexion routine, how to get something that works out for you. You may want to start with your foundation routine first, with your complexion routine first, and then once you're able to get an idea of how to do that and how to get a nice even complexion, then it's going to be easier for you to go into more complex eye looks. So that's what I try to do today. I try to do something very simple, focus on the skin, and then something very simple for the eye. So yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but if you want to know how I did this look and get some really basic simple makeup tricks, just keep on watching. So let's start straight from the beginning. Before you put on any makeup, any foundation, any concealer, before you put on any product, the first step you should do is make sure you clean your face. Now by cleaning your face, I don't only mean washing your face with soap and water. I mean actually exfoliating, removing anything that's on your skin. That could be excess oil, that could be dead skin, that could be pollution, dirt, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of things that accumulate into your skin that soap and water may not remove. So what can you do? You can use a toner or a liquid exfoliator. Now every skin is different, every skin has different concerns. Some people have dry skin, some people have oily skin, some people have combination skin. Even though everybody has different skin type, everyone should use a toner according to their skin and according to their needs. There are different types of toners out there. There are some that help your skin hydrate, there are some that help your skin oil controlling, there are others that help even out your skin tone. But overall, the purpose of the toners is to remove any excess dirt, oil or pollution that accumulate in your skin. So you want to make sure you use that before you apply anything else, especially any makeup. You want to make sure that your face is completely clean. So how do you know which toner is right for you? You need to first determine what's your skin type. Do you have very dry skin? Do you have dry combination skin? Oily combination, very oily, or just extremely sensitive skin? What's your skin type? If you don't know what your skin type is, then that means you're more likely to be dry combination or oily combination. How do I know that? Very simple. If you have dry skin, you will know that you have dry skin because your skin will feel dry. Duh. In one hand, if you have very dry skin, your skin will feel very tight and uncomfortable throughout the day. You will feel that lack of moisture, like you need to put some type of moisturizer. On the other hand, if you have very oily skin, you will feel it because your skin will feel very oily. Duh! If you have very oily skin, your skin will be producing an excessive amount of oil. That means your skin will be more likely to be shiny throughout the day and feel very greasy, and you may have the need to pat dry your face throughout the day. That's how you can know if you have very dry skin or very oily skin. It's very simple. It's really not as hard. Sometimes people are like, oh, do you have a machine to determine my skin type? You know your skin type. Just think about it. Ask yourself, do I get greasy? Do I get really greasy? Do I get really shiny? Or do I get really dry? Is my skin very dehydrated? Does my skin need moisture? You know the answer to these questions. Just all you have to do is think about it. Now, if you have oily combination or dry combination, that's when things get a little bit mixed up. If you have dry combination, your face is more likely to be dry to normal, and then you only get oily on your T-zone, which includes your forehead, your nose, this area, and then your chin. this is the area where you basically get the most oil and when you may get shiny more often than not. On the other hand, if you have oily skin, you do get greasy and shiny in your T-zone, but you also get very greasy around your cheeks. This is very problematic for us people with oily skin because the excessive amount of oil often clogs our pores and creates breakouts. This also enlarges the pores, which creates a lot more texture in the skin. Again, if you have very dry skin, your skin feels very tight and uncomfortable throughout the day, all over. If you have dry combination, you may have some parts that are dry, but mainly your T-zone, it's oily. If you have oily combination, your T-zone is oily, and then also the areas around your cheeks. If you have very oily skin, you are more likely to get shiny and very oily throughout the day, all over the face. There are also people with sensitive skin. These people cannot wear products that have fragrance or strong ingredients on them. I would recommend those of you that have sensitive skin to stay away from products that have alcohol on them because that tends to irritate the skin even more. So this is one of the toners that I use. This is from Clinique. This is the clarifying lotion number 3 for oily combination skin. Toners like this ones are good because they also exfoliate. They remove the layer of dead skin that accumulates in your face. And this one you can use it 2 times a day. If you have very dry skin, you should stay away from toners like this one with a high level of alcohol. Clinique does have other toners with less alcohol. You can try for number 1.0, 1 or 2. This one is number 3, the next one is number 4. Those have the highest level of alcohol and they may irritate your skin if you have sensitive skin or very dry. This is recommended for people with oily combination or very oily, and this is the one that I use. So I put this one all over the face, and you can literally see how it removes the dirt and the dead skin from your face even after you wash your face. I'm not gonna get into too much details about which products I use. If you want, I can do a separate video that's more specific on products. But after you use the toner, basically the next step is to use your serum. A serum it's a product with a very light texture that your skin absorbs very fast. It absorbs it almost immediately after you apply it. Serums have very strong and more potent ingredients. Each serum has a different purpose. Some of them are for anti-aging, some of them are for skin brightening, getting rid of dark spots, getting rid of discoloration. I mean, you name it. Each serum has a different purpose. If you have any specific skin concern, you can apply your serum after your toner. The next step will be to use a moisturizer. Now, I always recommend a moisturizer that's oil-free, just to make sure that there's no oil clogging your pores. If you have very dry skin, you may want a moisturizer that has oil in it. But I have oily skin, so I will always stay away from oily products. So it's you put your toner, your serum, your moisturizer, then the next step is your primer. If you have dry skin, you can use a good moisturizer or a good face oil as your primer. This will give you a nice sheer, more natural finish to your foundation. However, it's not going to give you that longevity if that's what you're looking for. If you want longevity, you might want to use a primer. You can still use a primer that's luminous if that's what you're going for, but you still should use a primer. If you have oily skin and you have enlarged pores, you want to use a primer that's going to smooth out the texture of your skin. I like to use this one by e.l.f. This is the Poreless Putty Primer. This is not the best primer for blurring out the pores, but I do like how it feels on my skin because it leaves my skin hydrated. The primer preps your skin so that the foundation goes on smoothly, more even, and this also protects your skin from the foundation, ideally so you don't break out. Now, if you've never worn foundation before and you don't know where to start or how to find your ideal foundation, there are a few things that you need to keep in mind. First is your skin type. We already talked about this. Do you have dry skin? Do you have dry combination? Do you have oily combination or very oily skin? If you have dry skin, if you have very dry skin, you want to go towards foundations that are more luminous, more dewy, more sheer. That way they don't feel too heavy on your skin and your skin doesn't look even more dry. Now, if you have oily skin, you may want to go for a natural finish or a matte finish. I have oily skin and I always stay away from those luminous foundations because my skin is already oily. It's already shiny. I don't need more shine in my skin. I'm not trying to look like a glazed donut. No, thank you. Thank you. Next. Anyway, the next thing that you have to think about is your skin tone. Are you warm? Are you neutral? Are you cool? If you are warm tones are more like a yellowish golden skin tone, kind of like when you're tan. Now if you're cool, you're more pink, like when you go to the beach and instead of getting a tan, you get sunburn. Neutral, you're in between. You're not too yellow, but you're not too pink. The third thing that you have to think about is what coverage are you looking for. Now, if you want sheer coverage, normally what they mean by sheer coverage is something that's very natural. Like when you buy a dewy foundation, those tend to be sheer because they look very natural on the skin, they don't look heavy, and they have that natural glow to them. When you want something that's mirror coverage, it's going to cover some imperfections, but not all of them. If you want something full coverage, then that's going to more likely cover all your imperfections or your blemishes or your dark spots or acne scars, etc. An example that I'm going to show you of that foundation is this one. This is the Fade Made by Maybelline, and it's in the shade Warm Nude because I have a warm tone, and then it's matte poreless because I have oily skin. Normally I like to apply my foundation with a brush because this will give you more coverage, and what you can do is you take it with your brush like this and then you press it into your skin, and then you just press it into your skin. This foundation has a natural matte finish, so it's not full coverage, but it's very easy to build. Or if you want a more natural sheer finish, you can use a wet sponge and just make sure you press it into your skin. Use a sponge. Sponges normally absorb a lot of the product, so you don't get the same amount of coverage. That's why I rather just use a brush. This is the Xo.Xo Studio High Definition Brush F1. Because $1 from Shop Miss A. It's very cheap, it's very affordable, you don't have to break the bank getting expensive brushes. And I apply the foundation all over the face. I obviously haven't done my eyebrows yet, so I'm going to go over this area with the foundation. And just spread it evenly all throughout. And again, when you want more coverage, just tap it into your skin. If you want to sheer it out, you can like blend it out like this. Or you can apply it with the foundation first, and then if it's too much, you can just blend it out with a sponge. Definitely need more coverage, not just under my eyes, but also in certain areas where I have blemishes, and that's where the concealer comes into play. Conceal certain areas that you don't want to show or pick through. In my case, I want to conceal my dark circles and some blemishes that I have going on my skin. And the concealer I'm using is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Golden Beige. I do need a lighter shade to highlight that I'm waiting for. It's coming supposedly. I don't use it to highlight anymore, I use it to conceal. Now, when you conceal, you're just adding coverage to your foundation, or you're just trying to conceal or hide some things or some blemishes from your face. Like I have a pimple here, so I'm just trying to cover that. I'm not trying to highlight it, I'm just trying to cover it because I don't want it to show. On the other hand, when you're highlighting, you obviously, if you highlight something, you're bringing attention to it. You're not trying to hide it. Concealing my dark circles. I don't want people to see that I have dark circles, even though obviously you saw it already. I want to cover my blemishes, and I have my veins are very visible in my eyelids, so I want to make sure that I cover them so that they don't show. I'm hiding them basically. I hate that you can see all my veins through my eyelids. I don't like that. This is my face concealed. I cover up most of the blemishes. You can still see some because the foundation is not full coverage. I'm gonna use cream contour today, so I'm gonna set on my concealer, and I like to use a translucent powder. This one is from RCMA, and I don't like to bake right away. I just like to set with a little bit of powder first, just because I don't want my face to look too powdery either or too dry. I just want to set everything to lock in that coverage. So I'm just pressing it into my skin with a blending brush. And I'm setting that coverage on my eyelid as well. So after I set all my foundation and my concealer, I'm gonna go with a contour powder. Now, there's a difference between bronzer and contour. A bronzer is more like this one. This one is by Clinique. This is Sunkissed by Clinique, and it's more like a golden, almost orangey tone. And then a contour is more warm, more reddish, like this one. So I'm gonna use this one to contour. And you can do this with a cream or with a powder. Today I want to use a powder. And the point of the contour is to kind of alter the shape of your face. I want to make my forehead a little bit smaller, so I like to contour my forehead. And then my cheekbones. I want to enhance my cheekbones a little bit. I put contour on my cheekbones. And then you can contour your jawline if you want to make your jawline look slimmer. This is a contour palette by Beauty Benefits Hollywood, by the way. Now I'm going to contour my nose. So I like to start at the beginning of my eyebrows and then bring it down, like so. And you want to use a smaller, more precise brush when you're contouring your nose. And basically drawing two parallel lines on the top of my nose. Just a flat line, and then bring it up a little bit. And then I go with the lighter shade, and I apply it in the middle of my nose, in the center of my nose, just to highlight the bridge of the nose. Then after I contour, I like to use just a little bit of bronzer, just to make myself look a little bit more tan, give me a little bit more color. And you can use the bronzer a little bit more loosely, more freely than the bronzer, than the contour. You don't have to be as precise with the bronzer. And after the bronzer, I'm going to use a blush. This one is Rebecca, and I'm going to use a peachy shade. And I'm going to use this peachy shade. It's like a nice pinky, almost peachy. This is where I'm going to apply the brush, and I like to take it a little bit higher than my cheekbones, just to give my face like a more lifted effect. I like to take it a little bit higher. And then if you go jam and put too much like I did, you can go back with your foundation brush with some translucent powder and just buff it out a little bit. So now it's finally time to do eyebrows. I'm gonna use the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim Brow Pencil. I got a little closer so you can see better. So when I'm doing the eyebrows, first I like to brush the hairs up, and then I draw a line at the bottom, like so. And then I brush the hairs down. And I fill in the top. I draw a line across the top. And then I start filling it in. Drawing hair strokes, little by little. Brush it back up. I always like to brush them because when I brush it, it kind of blends out the product. Now let's do this side. So brush it up. Fill it in. Brush it down. Fill it in. Normally when I do my eyebrows first, I clean them up with concealer, but since I already set everything and you don't want to put liquid over powder, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Now I'm gonna go into eyes. So today I'm actually not gonna use eyeshadow, I'm actually gonna use the same blush palette that we use for the face. I'm gonna put it on my eyes, and I'm gonna use this as the palette. I'm gonna use this peachy shade right here, and I'm gonna apply it all over my crease. This is gonna give me a nice smooth transition. My eyelid. And I'm gonna apply a little bit of that same shade on the bottom of my eye. Just to make everything look nice and smooth. So I go around like so. Finished with the bronzer, we're finished with the blush. Now we're gonna go with highlight. I like to apply highlight right after my setting spray so that it can really stick to my skin and it can really show. So I'm gonna put setting spray first, and then as you dry eyes, I'm gonna apply the highlighter. This one by Estee Lauder spray, and I'm just applying it in the high points of my cheekbones. I like to apply this on my eyes as well, especially under my eyebrows and my brow bone. This will give your brows a more lifted effect, especially if you didn't clean it off with concealer like I did. I also like to give my eyes a pop of shimmer, so I go with the highlighter and I put it in my inner corner like so to make my eyes pop. And then I also apply it at the tip of my nose and the nose bridge. So especially this area where my nose is almost flat. And make sure you blend that so it doesn't stand out too much. Now, I didn't bake today because I didn't feel the need to do so. My skin is not that oily, and obviously I'm not going to any important location, so I don't need my makeup to last a really long time. That's normally when you should bake, if you want to highlight certain areas and you want your makeup to really last throughout the day. If you don't need your makeup to last that long, there's really no need for you to be putting as much powder and drying up your skin as much. Now I'm going to go with the liner. And the way that I like to start my liner, I like to start doing the tail. My eyes are slightly hooded, so I have to keep opening them to see how high I want to take the wing liner. But I like to apply the wing, but I like to start doing the wing, and I start at the end of my eyes. I take it a little bit up, like so. And then I connect it back. I connect it back to my lash line, like so. And then I fill it in. And try to make this line as straight as you can. Then if I messed it up a little bit at the tail, I just clean it up with a little bit of concealer. And then I fill in over my lash line. So that's the wing first. It looks nothing like the other one. Now, as you can see, they don't look the same, and that's because my eyes are not exactly symmetrical. This one's a little more droopy, more hooded. So I'm going to try to lift up the wing a little bit with a little bit of concealer. I'm just cleaning up the bottom part to make the top part look higher and more lifted. Cute are these lashes. These ones are by Xo.Xo lashes in style Amour, and yeah, I mean, they're a total amour. I love them. Yo, how I say that, amour? Amore mio, amore mio. I'm gonna put some mascara on my real lashes. Can you see my real lashes peeking through? Now is when I like to put mascara. I like to put mascara after I apply my lashes so that I can connect my real lashes to my fake lashes with the mascara. Like, I can stick them together with the mascara. So I normally put mascara after, not before. I know a lot of people want to do before. but I like to do it after. That way I could press them in together, like so, and they will stick, you know, they will stick to each other. Look how cute! And then one important tip is to go over your lash line with the liquid liner, just to make sure that the glue is not peeking through. So I'm gonna put some white eyeliner. This one is from BSN, that's the brand, literally BSN Auto Eyeliner / Lip Liner. So you can use this in your lips or on your waterline. I'm just gonna apply it on my waterline, especially on the inner corner of my eyes. Can you see already? It makes my eyes look a lot more open. Okay, so I outline my lips with the lip liner by Clinique. This is in the shade lip blush, and then I use the LA Colors lipstick. This is in the shade Natural Shine. This is what they come in the packaging. And then for the lip gloss, I use a tiny little bit of Hot Chocolate by Glamlight. This is the final look. What do you guys think? Very simple but so cute. Well guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. Well guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. I wanted to do something very simple that you guys are going to be able to recreate at home. For those of you who are not that great at makeup, who are new at makeup, who've never done their makeup before, and just wanted to know and get some basic, really basic tricks to get started. The hardest part is definitely the wing liner and then the eyelashes. I promise I will try to do more tutorials like that, focusing on the eyes, but I wanted to start focusing on the face first. Once you get your foundation routine complete, we can proceed and go to the eyes and go into more details with the eyes. Definitely want to do more videos where I show you tricks that are more advanced, like how to contour, how to highlight, how to bake, but for now, I think these tricks are the basics that you should be able to master first before you go into more advanced makeup tricks. Because basically, your foundation routine doesn't need to change. Once you get a foundation routine that you like and that works for you, you can stick to that and then just do different eye looks. So yeah, that is it for today's video. Again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.